Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Reds Reloaded, the podcast where we talk about everything Cincinnati Reds. I am your host, Kyle Luther, a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. This is Chandler Patrick. He is also a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan. Now, guys, you're going to notice a different layout. We wanted to update our YouTube videos and give you guys a new layout. So let us know what you think. We got our talking points and our sponsor on there. So we greatly do appreciate our sponsor and everything they do, but we will get into that after a while. So let's get right into these games, guys. So Reds had 6 games. They went 3-3. They were against the Cardinals and the Guardians. So against the Cardinals, the Reds won 4-2, lost 0-7, won 5-3. And then the Guardians series, we lost 5-6. We won 2-0, and then we lost 1-6. So Chandler, what's your overall grade for the Reds this week?
I'll give them a C plus. Just a little bit of an edge over that dead middle C. Reason being, I think there were some bright spots in there, and I think that outweighed the negatives, especially the record just being 500 in those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the fight that we were able to show for the majority of that series. Unfortunately, we had 2 blowout losses, but I mean, even that loss against the Guardians in Game 1, I mean, is still just a one-run ball game. So we were able to battle a little bit, compete, and then honestly, I think that my biggest surprise really was how well they were able to carry that momentum going into that Cardinals series. And, facing a division rival, we haven't done so well against people in our division. But, hey, I mean, we got the series win there, so that's always going to be great to see. Biggest disappointment was that 7-0 loss against the Cardinals. That one stung. It was the only one where we didn't put up any runs on the board. And, anytime there's a donut, not going to be happy unless the donut is from the other team.
Absolutely.
Best win, I'll say that 4-2 win against the Cardinals, just because it helped set the tone as well as it carried that momentum over from the prior series.
Yep.
Toughest loss was that 7-0 loss again against the Cardinals. And then the momentum heading into the next series. I think it was solid going into the Guardian series, and I think that the Guardian series carrying over to now is solid. Even though we lost the Guardian series, I still think that we have enough momentum, and our performance has been solid enough that we have some quality momentum carrying over still, and not just pushing into the next series, but pushing into the next series, which lead up to the trade deadline,
Right.
which is going to be, make or break for us really for the rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to give them a solid B minus. Minuses is the losses. But our bullpen performed really well in these 2 series, and our hitting came alive in a couple games, so solid B minus. My biggest surprise, probably that. I mean, I could go biggest surprise and biggest disappointment. It's that 7-0 loss after winning against the Cardinals. We kind of put a donut up on the board, and I don't know what happened. Best win, I really think it's that 2-0 victory against the Guardians. That was a double header, and Caleb Ferguson was our starting pitcher. So Caleb Ferguson coming out of the bullpen and starting for the Reds, I mean, that was solid. And our bullpen actually ended up performing very well. We didn't allow an earned run, so absolutely our best win. Toughest loss, probably that 0-7 loss against Cardinals. just momentum heading into the next series. Just win. That's really what we want to do is win. So that is what I got. Chandler, do you got anything else?
No, I think, like you said, winning. We just need to focus on winning, getting those results. We both noted what we did, some areas that we were really good on, and we're going to get into that as we go through the actual games themselves. Bullpen was definitely a strong suit. So, yeah, I think if we can sustain those areas where we were solid,
Yeah.
and improve on what we need to improve on, maybe one or two players here or there, maybe the offense as a whole, getting the consistency up. But yeah, I mean, I think we covered it from a general sense.
All right, guys. So we're gonna head into around the bases. All right. So this 4-2 loss, or this 4-2 victory. Sorry, the mind's going blank. But this 4-2 win against the Cardinals, we batted 297. Suarez had a home run. We had 3 RBIs in that game. Suarez had one. Stewart had one, and Stevenson had one. Rhett Lauder, he was on our needs to bounce back, and I think he did. I think he really bounced back this week, and really showed that he can come out and perform. Rhett Lauder went 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Caleb Ferguson came in after him, 2 1/3 inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 0 strikeouts. Garcia came in after him, a third of an inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. Brock Burke came in after him, 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. TJ Antone came in after him, 1 inning, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. And then Emilio Pagan came in to close out that game, guys. 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Tyler Stevenson did have a ball pass, not a huge deal. Double play by Ellie and Sal. Ellie finally finding the bases again and running around the bases with a purpose. He had 2 stolen bases in that game, and we left 10 men on base. So let's get into Game 2, this 0-7 loss against the Cardinals, where we put a big donut up on the board, and the stats don't lie. So we only batted 100 in that game, 0 home runs, 0 RBIs. Hunter Green didn't have a great performance at all. He went 5 1/3 inning, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. But our bullpen always performing well. Sam Moll came in after that, 2/3 of an inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Chase Petty came in after that, 2 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Double play in this order: Arroyo, Ellie, and Sal, and then a stolen base by J.J. Bleday. And we left 6 men on base, guys. And then this 5-3 victory against the Cardinals. We hit 263 home runs by Ellie and Key Brian Hayes. Look at Key Brian Hayes showing up in the lineup. We had 5 RBIs in that game. Nate Lowe had 2. Key Brian Hayes had 1. Stewart had 1, and then Ellie De La Cruz had 1. Our starting pitching, phenomenal by Andrew Abbott. Other than 2 earned runs. So he went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Pierce Johnson came in after that, guys, and he went 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 0 strikeouts. TJ Antone went 2 1/3 inning, allowing 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. Brock Burke came in after that. He went 1 1/3 inning, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 2 strikeouts. Garcia got his first save, guys. He went 1 inning, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. We had two double plays. They both happened in this order: Key Brian Hayes, Edwin Arroyo, and Nate Lowe. Marte got caught stealing for our base running, and then we left 8 men on base. So my big takeaway, I think I give the bullpen props. The bullpen came in, they performed very well. They barely allowed an earned run. So solid performance by the bullpen, and being able to come out after a bad week last week, a terrible week last week, allowing runs all over the board, allowing hits, and they came out, they performed. So Chandler, what do you got on the Guardians series? I hope it continues. The bullpen continues to perform.
Yeah. Another note, real quick, is Ellie is the first player on the team this year to reach 20 stolen bases. I
Sweet.
believe it was that stolen base in the Cardinals series. Um, he does lead the team. Again, Sal is in second place with 12. Matt McClain has 11. And then the next highest, I believe, is Dane Myers with 7. Um,
I know we were talking about it a little bit. Do you
I'm
see
surprised.
do you see Sal as like Joey Votto, randomly getting stolen bases?
Yeah. He reminds me of Joey in his prime, just like randomly would have like close to 10 stolen bases in a season. You're like, what? Where did this come from? And he wouldn't really get thrown out either.
No.
Um, it's just picking your spots, really, right?
Right.
One thing that surprised me with the stolen bases is Steer. He only has 3 attempts, and he hasn't been thrown out. He's 3 for 3 with stolen bases this year. But Steer was a guy, especially in 23, that would steal a lot of bases and helped us create a lot of runs with our speed. So, um, Dane Myers, he's 7 for 7 of stolen attempts. So it's interesting. I would like to see them be a little bit more aggressive, especially with certain players. But I think that overall, as a team, we're doing a solid job so far.
Absolutely.
But getting into that Guardians series, just like the first game of the Cardinals series, we had 297 in that 6-5 loss. We had a home run by Sal Stewart. He had 3 RBIs. Stevenson had 1, and Edwin Arroyo had 1. Chase Burns went 5 innings, allowing 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Brock Burke went an inning, allowing 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Pierce Johnson, 1 inning, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Sam Maul, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. And Chase Petty, 1 inning, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. We had a double play turned by Edwin Arroyo, Ellie De La Cruz, and Sal Stewart. And Sal had a stolen base. We had 7 left on base that game. Moving into that second game against the Guardians, we hit 115 that game, but it was enough. JJ Bleday had a home run, and he was the only player with an actual RBI that game. Caleb Ferguson went an inning and 2/3, allowing 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Garcia won it in the third inning, no hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Franco went 3 2/3, allowing 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. TJ Antone 1 1/3 inning, no hits, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. And Emilio Pagan 1 inning, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. One thing that impressed me, especially out of that pitching performance, was Franco going 3 2/3 innings, allowing no earned runs.
Yeah, that's
Really
awesome.
solid performance by him right there. And then defensively, Dane Myers. He had an amazing catch to help save that game and end it with some fireworks. Stolen bases, we had 1 by Dane Myers and 2 from Ivan Johnson. and then we left 2 men on base. But again, it's hard to leave guys on base if we're not really getting anybody on base. So we were a bit more timely with our hits, and obviously the pitching really helped keep us in that ball game more than anything. That third game against the Guardians, we hit 182, no home runs. We had one RBI, and it was from Noelvi Marte. Brady Singer went 4 innings, allowing 6 hits, no earned runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Pitch count just got ran up too high. He walked too many batters, but solid start from him. It's just would have loved to have seen him go, 6 or 7 innings there. Just go a bit deeper into that ball game. Caleb Ferguson, 2/3 of an inning pitched. No hits, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Chase Petty, an inning and a third, 4 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and 1 home run. Garcia, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, no earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And Pierce Johnson, 1 inning, 1 hit allowed, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. We had 2 errors that game, one by Ellie and one by Ivan Johnson. And then Edwin Arroyo got his first big league stolen base in that game. We also left 10 men on base in total. So looking at that right there, the stolen base by Edwin Arroyo, right? We have since sent Edwin Arroyo down to AAA. We've reactivated Matt McLean, and we sent Chase Petty and Edwin Arroyo down. Now, what I find very interesting about that is you look at the list of guys that have lower batting averages than Edwin Arroyo, and it kind of makes you scratch your head. So, hold on. Blade was hitting 228. Steer's hitting 238. Suarez is hitting 202. McLean hitting 191. Noelvi hitting 186. Friedel is hitting 167. Ke'Bryan Hayes hitting 142. And then PJ Higgins hitting 231. Ivan Johnson hitting an even 100. And Edwin Arroyo hitting 244. How does he get the boot? Right?
Right.
He wasn't drawing a lot of walks. He wasn't, putting up many in the power categories. He had 3 doubles and 1 triple, but no home runs yet. I would have loved to have seen him stay on the big league team, continue to get some reps. And big thing for me is if he's in the middle of the pack of our entire offense in terms of batting average, you might as well just keep him there because he's getting hits. He might not be getting the big home runs, and he might not be walking a whole lot. He might not be hitting 300. But I think that if we stick by it, he could easily develop into one of those guys that could hit first or second in the lineup, just get hits. He's been able to change his approach. He's hitting home runs in AAA, but he was able to adjust his approach where he was just trying to put the bat on the ball sometimes and put the ball in play. And I think, somebody having that approach and awareness, like, hey, I'm still fresh here. I just need to get accustomed to everything. I think just give him some more time at the big league level. I don't think that he necessarily deserved to be sent down, but it will give him the opportunity to get more reps and continue to better his game. The other thing is defense. I've been seeing people complain about his defense and say, well, he can't field. He absolutely can. He has +2 outs above average, which puts him right behind Matt McLean. Matt McLean is 11th out of 40-something guys qualified at second base this season. Edwin Arroyo is 12th. All right. So we have 2 guys that are on the better end of defense for second base. And, I don't know. It just frustrates me when people say that Edwin Arroyo can't play and he can't field. It's kind of like when everybody would be talking about Ellie. You might make some occasional errors. And Edwin Arroyo isn't even on an Ellie level of making errors, but for him to be ranked where he's at in half the amount of playing time as the other second baseman in the league, I believe he would be somewhere. I don't know about top 5, but he'd be top 10 if he would have had as much playing time as those other guys. So just give him some time. Be graceful. Brandon Phillips made errors too. All right, nobody was perfect. So I think just let him go out there, play his great defense. All right, and then don't completely go after him if he makes a mistake. It's his first year. All right, so just let him get accustomed to playing second as opposed to shortstop, and he'll provide that defense as a whole that we'll need. We might not see, oh well, how many runs he saved while you're watching the games or whatever. You might only notice the ones that end up costing us a lead or whatever. However, the stats don't lie. He is good.
The one thing that bothers me is you were talking about the lineup and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
TJ Friedl, since the All-Star break ended, he is 0 for 15. Why is he still up in the majors? Why? I don't understand that. He's 0 for 15. He's not providing anything to the lineup. And we send down a dude that defense is phenomenal, and he was hitting the ball. So I don't understand why we send down Edwin Arroyo. That really frustrates me. And
yeah, I think Ivan Johnson would have even been a better pick to send down because he's clearly not as ready as just about anybody else. I mean, and that's not a knock against Ivan Johnson. It's just going to take some time. He just needs to develop a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. It is frustrating. All the guys that are hitting, especially significantly lower batting averages than Edwin Arroyo. Friedel has been putting up some solid defense in the outfield still, but when it comes to offense, and we need offense, I think Edwin Arroyo should have stayed.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, going into the Reds Reloaded Injury Report, sponsored by W Energy. All right, guys, before we hand out our weekly awards, it's time for the Reds Reloaded Injury Report, sponsored by W Energy. Chandler, do you think they need a little bit of focus, a little bit of energy? Could they use a little bit of W Energy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the issue is with some of these injuries, right? Maybe these guys are getting up, they're a little drowsy from the night game before. Maybe, through all that travel, they're just getting worn out. They might not have had an off day in a bit. They might not be getting to the ballpark ready to go, and they might not be getting there on time to do all their stretches that they need to do. Maybe they need that little boost. You know what I mean?
A little.
And I think W Energy can help provide that energy and help provide those dubs.
Yeah, a little clean energy, enhanced focus, long-lasting energy, and no crash and no jitters. Guys, if you do end up ordering off of W Energy, use our promo code Reds Reloaded Podcast and get 10% off your order. So going into this, the IL, it hasn't changed a little bit. Player dropped off, player got on. So Graham Ashcraft still on the 60-day DL. Brandon Williamson still on the 60-day DL. We got an update on him. Blake Dunn still on the 10-day DL. Got an update on him. Tony Santillan still on the 15-day DL, but we got an update on him. Nick Lodolo still on the 15-day DL. And Spencer Steer is still on the 10-day DL. Spencer Steer was added to the 10-day DL after he got hurt in a game. Don't have any day-to-day injuries. Recent rehab assignments. I don't have an expected returns and timelines. I don't have any expected returns. But for the setback and positive recovery news, Blake Dunn, he will undergo surgery on his elbow on Monday. I know Chandler has a little bit more on that he wants to talk about.
Yeah, so according to Mark Sheldon's article, um, they don't know the specific procedure that will be done. Uh, they are basically waiting to open it up and see what it looks like internally. And there is still a chance that he will have Tommy John surgery, which would likely keep him out until probably the middle of next year. And then even when he does return, he'll probably have to wear a brace and he can only DH. He won't be actually out in the outfield. He might get out there late in the season, if anything. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect to see any of Blake Dunn's solid defense next year.
Would that be a good thing though, having him in the lineup? I think he's solid in the lineup.
He's not your ideal DH, but you have to think he was hitting 282.
Right.
So I think that he definitely would help with the offense. Just getting on base, and then his legs are still working, so he'd be able to steal bases. He'd be able to run, score, generate runs. So
All right, guys. Nick Lodolo, got an update on him. He's scheduled to throw live batting practice today. Santion will go additional imaging today. And Brandon Williamson, guys. Finally hearing about Brandon Williamson after months. Um, Williamson will begin a rehab assignment Saturday, tomorrow, at Double A Chattanooga. So hopefully we get to see him back in the starting rotation soon. Spencer Steer, little update on him. He'll wear a spleen for the next 2 weeks after being diagnosed with a partial tear in his right wrist.
yeah, and that splint is basically just like protective. Like he they still haven't ruled out surgery. Like you said, it is a partial tear, so surgery is absolutely an option. But they're trying to see if it'll heal on its own so that he can return this season.
All right, guys. Moving out of the Reds Reloaded injury report, sponsored by W Energy, we're going to move into Who's Reloaded. All right, who's reloaded this week? Player of the week. We got to throw it to Sal Stewart. He had 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and 1 stolen base. He is also the Reds Reloaded Hot Bat Award winner. He had 1 home run, 5 RBIs. It was really hard to find a hot bat in the lineup this week. Not really that much performing. Not a lot of home runs, so he was an easy candidate for both awards. Pitcher of the week. I got to throw out Pierce Johnson. He had 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts. Pierce Johnson coming out of the bullpen. I think Pierce Johnson was one of those last week that were giving up runs and giving up hits. So it's great to see him bounce back, kind of, and get on to our awards. So Chandler, what do you got for the needs to bounce back and the unsung hero?
Who needs to bounce back gets Hunter Green. So his first start of the year, he struggled. Then he had a couple solid starts. But his last start, again, 5 1/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And oddly enough, we saw that performance while we were recording the previous episode. I think he just needs to continue to work on his consistency, just being back and getting in his routine. I think he'll be fine.
Right.
We typically don't have to worry about Hunter Green bouncing back. He'll typically do it. The unsung hero, or heroes, as we should say, is the bullpen, going 30 innings, allowing 3 earned runs and 22 strikeouts. They turned things around from the last episode where we went over, hey, they were giving up like half of the earned runs from those prior series. And then now it's like, well, they barely allowed anything. So over 30 innings, allowing 3 earned runs, that is solid overall from that bullpen. And I absolutely love to see it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, kind of going out of that, guys, and going into the dugout debate. All right, Chandler, got a few questions for you. I think you got a few questions for me, and we can both answer them. So, who has been your Reds MVP so far this season?
I'm going to roll out the carpet for our all-star Chase Burns.
Okay.
It could have been a hitter, but with how good Chase Burns has been this year, I mean, it's actually insane. Um, just looking at his stats, I mean, he's 12-1, absolutely dominant, 2.40 ERA, 128 strikeouts and 112 and two-thirds innings pitched, and a WHIP of 1.12. He's been phenomenal. Who do you have?
I think I'm going to give it to Sal Stewart. Sal Stewart, rookie year, doing very well. Already over 20 home runs, over 80 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. So for him to be able to perform on that level in his rookie year, I see Sal Stewart being very good for the Reds. So it kind of goes into our next question, Chandler.
Yeah, should Ellie remain the face of the franchise, or is someone else emerging as that player?
Sal Stewart. Sal Stewart 100% is emerging as that player. Um, I hope in the coming weeks or at the end of the year we extend Sal now while we have the money and we can get him for cheaper. I hope they extend him out and be able to sign him long term so he can be that face of the franchise.
Yeah,
So who?
especially if they add in that salary floor.
Yeah,
Not only the salary cap that they're talking about with negotiations, but to avoid a lockout, I think that if we're able to agree to something and um, just get that salary floor in there as well, then I think I think that might motivate them to extend some more players, and I'm hoping Sal's one of them.
yeah. Who's yours? Do you have Sal or do you have somebody else?
I would say Sal.
So
Yeah, everybody loves Sal.
okay. Do you has Terry Francona made a big difference for this team, or is it just the players themselves?
Personally, I think he's made the biggest difference, mainly because of the fact that he has that pull. A lot of players that have signed with the Reds the last couple of years, they've cited, playing under Tito as part of why they signed. Um, he's able to reach out to players and bring them in. Players reach out to the Reds and are interested in playing under Tito. So I think it's more than just the results on the field. I think it's more just building the team as a whole and having that manager that motivates people to sign there to begin with. What about you?
Yeah, so I mean, look at how we performed without Tito, right? We were under David Bell, even going back Jim Riggleman, Freddie Benavides for a little bit, but it's just I think there's a different energy in the ball in the clubhouse with Tito, and I think he's put a positive impact on those players. So
Yeah.
I think it's the Tito effect, right? Tito brings a lot. Tito brings a lot of wins, championships, and a lot of winning seasons. So I think that's the difference that Tito's made.
So if the Reds make the playoffs, right? If they get into the postseason, is this season already a success? Even if they don't win a single series in the postseason.
Yeah, so going off of this a little bit, right? We had Chase Burns, we had Sal Stewart, who were both doing phenomenal in the season and really performing. Even with injuries, we're still getting wins. With most of our bullpen down, we're still getting wins. So I think it's a success. Say say the Reds don't make the playoffs. I still think the season's a success because we're performing very well without Reds pitchers right now. I mean, we got 4 or 5 pitchers on the IL right now, so I think we're doing phenomenal without those players. What do you think?
Yeah, I think given where we're at right now and with the way that our team has looked on paper, if we made the postseason, I think it'd be a win. Um, even even not winning a series, kind of like last year, I think that it helps carry some more momentum into next season, and it also again helps motivate people to want to sign with us if they see like, oh yeah, well they made it to the postseason at least, but they're just missing like a piece or two, so it might help us out with free agency and extension talks with current players.
Yeah, absolutely. So going out of that, guys, and going into around the NL Central baseball. All right, guys, going into the NL Central, we've had we had a couple changes in the current standings. So the Brewers are 67 and 41. The Cubs are 61 and 47. The Pirates are 55 and 54. The Cardinals are 54 and 54. And the Reds are 50 and 57. Wild card races, Brewers are the division leaders. They're always going to be. Unfortunately, it's hard to say as a Reds fan, but the Cubs hold a wild card spot, which is wild right now. And the Cardinals are 2.5 games out, and the Pirates are 2 games out, and the Reds are 6 games out, guys. So, Chandler, I think my biggest surprise team is the Chicago Cubs, right? The Chicago Cubs were meant to be horrible, right? We always looked at them like, hey, they're at the bottom of the division. They're an easy win. Now it's not. It's the opposite way. Like, they're fighting for a division title right now. So, who do you got for your biggest surprise NL Central team?
I'm going with the Cardinals. All right. They were staying a bit above 500, surprising a lot of us. But then here in the last 10 games, they are 3-7. And if the Reds can stay hot and the Cardinals and Pirates can stay cool and off, that gives us a chance to leapfrog both those teams and end up in the middle of the pack in our division.
Right. So going off the NL Central and going to the MLB teams, I got the Chicago White Sox. Believe it or not, guys. I mean, after the terrible season they had, I believe that was last year. They went like 67 and like 105 or something like that. Something terrible, something horrible. But they've really showed that they can come back, make acquisitions over the off season, and really come back and just play. And they are second in the American League right now, so they're kind of trying to fight for that first place American League. Who's your team?
I got the Astros. They've been struggling a lot this year. They were below 500, but then the last 10 games they've gotten hot. And a lot of that helps because they have Yordan Alvarez, who the Reds were oddly enough linked to early in the year. He is the front runner for the MVP award in the American League right now and has helped the Astros even back up at 500 on the season, and it only puts them a game behind the Texas Rangers in the AL West.
Yeah. I know that I believe the AL West, that division is horrible this year.
Yeah.
They're all of them are terrible. But kind of going off the NL Central baseball, guys, and going into the extra inning predictions. Chandler, we have the Pirates and we have the Athletics. What do you think our series record is going to be?
7 games, right?
7 games.
Go 5-2.
Ooh.
I think we can split the series against the Pirates, and I think we might actually sweep the Athletics. That's like my bold prediction right there. I think for player of the week, we'll go with Sal Stewart. I think he stays hot. I think that he might actually be the home run leader as well. And then the best pitching performance, I'm going to go with Hunter Green. I think he bounces back. He has 2 starts in those 2 series. So does Rhett Lauder. But I think Hunter Green ends up, leading us through those 2 series and putting up some solid performances.
Right. So I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. I think we go 7 games in a row. 7 games in a row. I really think we can get victories. If Hunter Green bounces back, if Singer starts getting hot again, if Chase Burns bounces back from a okay start. If we can get the starting pitching going 6, 7 innings, I think we can win all 7 of these games because the Pirates and the Athletics guys, they're not good. They're not good per se, but they're not bad. So I think we can really bounce back. Player of the week. This is tough. You already picked Sal. I think I'm gonna go with Ellie. I think Ellie's our player of the week. I think our home run leader is Nate Lowe. And I think our winning pitcher of the week is gonna be Chase Burns. Chase Burns is gonna be our winning pitcher of the week. I think Chase Burns has a bounce back start and shows that he can go deep into a ball game. Can we get a no hitter out of this series?
We'll see. There's a chance.
There is a chance. There is a chance. So getting out of that, guys, and going into this day in Reds history. We love to look back on the Reds history. So this is a big one, Chandler, to be completely honest. This is a huge one because I don't think any Reds done it since. And it just makes sense for the person it is. So, on July 31st, 1978, Pete Rose reached 44 straight games with a hit. 44 games, guys. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't think that's been done ever since, Chandler, correct?
Yeah, I don't believe so. I think the closest was Joey Votto about, I don't know, close to 15 years ago. It was in like the early 2010s, I think. And I think that was only like 30, 35 games or something like that. And it was like carryover from the season prior.
Yeah. Hot take here, Chandler. I ask you this question because he's brought up in the Reds history. Does Pete Rose belong in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think so too. But my other hot take, and I think you'll disagree with me, is Barry Bonds not being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Joey Votto actually was just talking about it here recently. There's a lot of players that we don't know of that were on performance-enhancing substances in that time frame. They didn't start testing until 2003. Barry Bonds, it was never revealed that he actually failed a test. If it wasn't for certain leaks coming out where they would go through documents like the Balco lab raids and stuff like that, we wouldn't know a lot of these players, taking that stuff. So I don't want to just put information out there and be like, hey, this person did or this person didn't do it. But there's a lot of players where they were taking it and it kind of just got swept under the rug because it didn't get revealed or outed by somebody.
Right. And yeah, I don't know, man.
They're already in the Hall. There's a lot of guys that were on it that were already in the Hall. So,
and that's probably why. I mean, you got Alex Rodriguez who hasn't got in. You got who else?
Ryan Braun probably won't get in.
Yeah, there's some other. What was that Yankees pitcher? I forget his name. He's not. He's probably not going to get in. I think he's on his last year of eligibility this year. But Pete Rose is going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame, I believe, at the end of 2027. So hopefully we get to celebrate Pete. It's sad that it took this long to let him in, but unfortunately he had to pass away for them to let him in. So going off of that, guys. Before we close out the episode, guys, I want to greatly appreciate everyone that has tuned in to us. We are 4 streams away as we speak right now. We are 4 streams away from 800 streams. Now, guys, that is only 200 streams away from 2 free Reds tickets. So make sure you're listening, make sure you're watching, and make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, and then follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So we've added some, and we appreciate our sponsor sponsoring us. We couldn't do the Reds injury report without them. So, but Chandler, you got anything else to say about our grateful fans?
No, really, just, thanks again for spending some time with us again this week. And make sure that you guys are, staying engaged in the videos that we put out, the podcast episodes, the posts that we make on social media. Just really, if you have any questions that you want us to answer, you want to know our opinions on or whatever, feel free to comment those and we can throw those into the dugout debate.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit more questions for the dugout debate. I think we're struggling at this point, but we can always come up with questions. I mean, we got thoughts rolling in our head 24/7. I text Chandler about something and he's like, "Yeah, let's talk about that." So,
Yeah.
guys, we greatly appreciate it. And as Marty would say, this one belongs to the Reds. See you guys.